Hello everybody and welcome to our kitchen. Today we're gonna make pizza. So if you like pizza, please subscribe to our channel and also like, press the notification button and share with all of your friends. And as always, I have started by measuring up what we need. Of this dough you can also make some different dishes, not only pizza. You can make garlic bread, sausage with the dough. It's just the fantasy that limits you, so you can use the dough for almost everything. So for starter, we have 1 kilo of white flour, 140 grams of milk and 380 grams of water. I've put it together here. 10 grams of dry yeast or 50 grams of fresh yeast, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 40 grams olive oil and 1 tablespoon of Himalayan salt. You can also use regular salt. So I'm gonna start by putting all the dry stuff together in the flour like this. And then we just mix it together. So the dough I'm making today, it's gonna be big, so then you can just share it into pieces, and you can also put the rest of it into the freezer so you have dough later. If you want to make pizza one day, just take it out of the freezer, put it on the bench for some hours like this, and then I'm gonna put the olive oil into the milk and then just put the milk inside here. So then you just mix it all together till you get a nice dough. So now I've mixed everything together to a dough, and then you just have to work it for some minutes. So you just push some air into the dough for about 5 or 10 minutes. If you have a kitchen machine, you can also use the machine, of course. So just work the dough for 5 or 10 minutes with your hands, and then you just put the dough aside and let it rest for about 30 minutes, 1 hour. Just check the dough and cover the bowl with plastic. So now I've shared the dough in 4 pieces. Each of them is 270 grams. I told you I'm making a big dough today. So it's gonna be like 4 pizzas or 2 pizzas and 2 garlic breads. It's your choice. So I'm just working it, and instead of putting the entire dough to rest in the bowl, I'm just making 4 pieces like this, and I'm just gonna cover it up and rest here for 30-40 minutes, maybe 1 hour. You just have to check. If you like the bottom in the pizza to be thick, then you can just add more dough. If you like it thin, like Italian pizza, then 4 pieces is enough for 4 pizzas. So while the dough is resting, I'm gonna prepare the filling that we're gonna have on the pizza. I'm just gonna use a small amount of butter. So I have prepared some steak and also ground beef. I'm just gonna have ground beef steak and some onion with mozzarella cheese on my pizza. You can of course add whatever you want. It's your choice. So I've cut the steak in small pieces. It's steak with just a little bit of fat. So I'm gonna pre-cook it before I put it on the pizza dough. And don't cook it too much. because you want the meat to be juicy when the pizza is finished. So now I'm gonna fry the meat, the steak, and also the ground beef. So when the dough is ready, I'm gonna put it on the dough. So now the dough has been resting for about 45 minutes. As you can see, they are nice with a lot of air. So I'm not gonna use all of them today. So then I'm just gonna take this one, put it in a plastic bag like this, and put it in the freezer. So the next time I want pizza, I'm just gonna take it out and let it rest till the ice is gone, and then I have pizza dough. So now I'm gonna work with the dough. You can, of course, make it round or any shape you prefer. Just gonna make it nice and thin. As I told you, I like my pizza thin. I'm not gonna get fooled by the bread. I love the cheese and the filling. So just work it nice and then put it on a baking plate with some baking paper. So now I put it on the baking pan with some paper, and then I'm gonna make some holes with a fork, and I'm gonna put it in the oven and bake for about 5 or 10 minutes like this. So now the dough has been in the oven for about 5 minutes. As you can see, it's because all of the moistness in the dough gets out. So then you get a nice and crispy dough. So now I'm gonna start by filling it. I start with 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Just spread it out like this. You don't need too much. I prefer the tomato paste to be cold. I don't make a sauce. This is my sauce. But of course you can add spices if you want to. I spice up the meat, so the tomato paste really don't need any spices. Just spread it out nice and completely out to the edges. Like this. So then we are gonna add a little bit of cheese. I have mozzarella cheese. You can of course use any type you want. Like this. So I put some more cheese on. You can of course add the amount of cheese that you prefer. So now I'm gonna take the ground beef. I fried it with onions, and now it's cold, so just gonna put it on here. Like this. And also I'm gonna have some steak. Like this. I think that's enough. You don't want to put too much meat on. And also, if you like some vegetables, you can of course add whatever you like. I prefer it plain like this. Then we're gonna add some more cheese on the top. You don't want to cover all of the meat, just a little bit more. like this. Now it's ready to go to the oven. Now the pizza has been in the oven for 15 minutes, so then you want to cut it into slices really soon. Like this. So you can see, look at the cheese. This is what I call pizza. So now I have prepared the filling for the garlic bread. We have some chopped parsley, about 4 tablespoons of olive oil, a little bit of butter, and 5 pieces of pressed garlic. So this is garlic bread we're gonna make. That means you need a lot of garlic. So I'm gonna start by melting the butter with the olive oil and then put the rest into it. I'm gonna show you. So I start by adding the butter, and then I pour the olive oil into the casserole. Just give it a little bit of a stir. Like this. And then I'm gonna add the garlic. And some pepper. Just gonna give it a little bit of a stir here. And also some salt. So you're just gonna stir it for some time, cook it for for about a minute or so on low heat. You're gonna add the parsley at the end because it has such a good smell. So I'm adding the parsley. And also stir it a bit, and then you just let it rest for about 10 seconds or so, and then you turn off the heat. So now I've made a round dough for the garlic bread, and I've also put some holes with a fork, and now I'm gonna put it in the oven for about maybe 3 to 5 minutes before we put the garlic and everything on, because all of the moistness into the dough gets out, so that you will get a really nice garlic bread. So now the garlic bread has been in the oven for 3 minutes, so I'm just gonna turn it around like this. It's been in the oven for 210 degrees. So now I'm just gonna put on this mixture. The smell is so delicious. Just put it out all the way to the edges. And then you're gonna put it back into the oven for about 5 minutes, maybe 3 or 5 minutes. And you want to use all of the mixture. Put it in the oven again for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Take it outside, and then you're gonna add mozzarella cheese. Now the garlic bread has been in the oven for 7 minutes. The reason why we put it in the oven before we put on the cheese is that so all the juices comes into the bread. So now we are gonna add cheese. Of course, again, you can use the amount of cheese that you want. I prefer not too much. Like this. Now you put it in the oven till the cheese has melted and it's finished. So the garlic bread is finished, and I'm gonna cut it into slices. It's really nice and crispy, as you can hear. You can see so now the garlic bread and the pizza is finished, and of course you can make just one of them. You don't need to make both of them. But now I did, and if you like them and you would like my video, please subscribe my channel, share with all of your friends, and also press the notification button for more videos. You're welcome and have a nice day.